Welcome to Third World Garage. How many IKEA items can you spot in this scene right here? There will be a quiz at the end of the video, and I will show you how much of this is really IKEA. But at any rate, this is obviously in my backyard, and this is a Sunnersta small kitchen. And it's obviously a day with a thunderstorm. Now, can this thing be used outside? That was the question that I asked myself when I first saw it. And I decided to find out. So after 10 months outside, how well has this fared? And how do you hook it up? Well, let's take a look. It's really easy to assemble, by the way. It's only a few screws. And you can put that bottom shelf under the sink, or you can put it over on the other side. But I usually put a garbage can right over here, so I chose to put the shelf under there, and then I just store a few little things. Unfortunately, you can see you don't really want to store anything with a metal base because it will get rust rings. That stuff was there for literally less than 3 days, and it caused those rust rings. And unfortunately, you will see that no, it doesn't hold up all that well, with a lot of rings on this stainless steel because it's not a particularly good stainless steel. However, it is outside and it doesn't really seem to be rusting badly. It's just a little bit of surface rust that you can get off with the right equipment, the right materials. Now the faucet we're using here is the Lagan faucet. So, and here is how we spell that. Now, this is normally a kitchen faucet, so if we do that, and turn it to hot, it's going to turn off our water. Now, if you don't do something to block off that hot water line, when you do that and switch it to hot, it's just going to dump all the water out the bottom. So here's kind of what I did. I just took another fitting, screwed it on there, and there we go. Now what these are just your standard like kitchen tap. This one here is for PEX, but it doesn't really matter on this application because I wasn't using this end. And this is flared out because it's a compression style, and that if you just take the compression fitting off and just screw it on, it works fine. This is more of a pipe style, and that's screwed in right here to a water line going outside, like this. Now your plumbing will vary. I did include a shutoff here, and what that lets me do is, if there's a hurricane that knocks out the water or whatever, if I have a rainwater barrel, I can run it through the hose, and then it gives me water pressure to that faucet. Now for a downspout, I just took one of those cheap Harbor Freight hole saws meant for wood, but since it's aluminum, it still kind of cut it. And I cut a hole through there, and then just used a flexi pipe and an extension that I got at the Home Depot. This right here is 1/4 inch, but it necks down to a 1/2 inch PVC. And this is a schedule 40, and then that gray pipe you saw inside is schedule 80. This is just your standard excuse me, standard hose bib on the outside, and mine was shot because the house is over 40 years old and it was leaking like crazy, so I was happy to replace it. Now IKEA does offer its own actual outdoor kitchen called this Grill Scar, and Grill Scar uses a faucet that you don't have, that will actually hook up right to your hose, called whatever that word is. Sorry, I don't speak Swedish, and I'm not going to try to butcher the language. And that is a cold only faucet. It's about $35. The whole kitchen setup, as you see it right here, right now is running about $170 at IKEA. And I think the faucets are the Lagan and the whatever that word was, Cal's John, are about the same price. because the Cal's John is a $35 faucet. This one, when I bought it, it was $20, but I think it's up to like 30 or 35 now with inflation, almost doubling in price in 2 years or a year. So that's bad. But one of the things about the Grill Scar kitchen that you don't get is you don't get this handy little rack here. And what we can do with our rack is we can hang things, because Sunnersta has a number of different accessories. So if you want to have a paper towel roll, we have our paper towel roll. If you want a place for your kitchen sponge or soap, you have a place for your kitchen sponge or soap. It's actually really handy. And there's also hooks. There's a couple of other accessories that I don't have for it that I'm not because I'm just not using them elsewhere in my house, so I can't show you. But overall, it actually works fairly well as a small cooking space, and I'm looking to redo my kitchen soon, and when I do that, I'm going to actually use this along with my end of season $100 grill that I got at Home Depot as my kitchen while my regular kitchen is torn out. It's one of the reasons I actually did this. But as for but that's kind of the end of the video on this. Now, if you're curious what IKEA products we have here, obviously all this, the faucet, that's all IKEA. But did you know the rug was a flat woven rug they have? I kind of liked it, liked the colors. Also, the outdoor furniture is IKEA. That's the Ask Holman. These are also IKEA. There's usually a third piece, but I don't know where it went. I think I paid $1 for those like 5 years ago, but it's actually turned out to be pretty good because it's like a fiberglass reinforced nylon. Really good material to make those out of. They're solid and they last. These hooks aren't, these are just shelf brackets. I think I got them at Lowe's. It cost me like 30 or 40 bucks. But I used them to hang up a second set of the Ask Holman, because the primary set is here, but that allows me to have seating for 4. The other thing that's IKEA, the soap dispenser. And so is the shelving unit. This was like $15, but it's perfect for the space that I had. Nobody else made something like that, so I bought it, and I use it to hold all of my detritus and some of my gardening supplies. As you can see, I do a little bit of gardening. There's cucumbers that have gotten way too big for my needs. But how well did you do on the quiz? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching.